Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Recycled Firefighter 24-hour Backpack Plus. And this is a bag that I've been chasing down for a long time. I'm a big fan of the smaller version of this bag, the 24-hour Backpack. I used that for many years. It's got a great build quality. I really love the minimal styling and the layout that it had. And so when they announced the Plus version of that backpack, where they essentially put two of the 24-hour backpacks together, I was very intrigued. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about why that was such a big deal to me, what it's been like to use this bag. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. I've always been a fan of Recycled Firefighter's minimal vibe. To me, it almost feels like a cross between an Evergoods and a GoRuck backpack. So it's got, some compression straps, attachment points, but in general, it's a pretty subdued style that's gonna work well across a variety of environments, whether you're walking around the city, going into the office, traveling, or taking this into the outdoors. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. The exterior fabric is a 1000D Cordura, which feels like it's going to hold up very well to rougher usage. I've had a few different bags that have used 1000D and they've held up very well over the years. And I like that the 1000D on this bag feels a little bit more broken in right out of the box. It's not super stiff like I've experienced with some of my GoRuck bags where I have to use it for a while before it kind of has that worn in feel. So I really like that. It also makes it a little bit easier to take advantage of the volume as the fabric kind of molds around the item that you have on the inside. And 1000D is not going to be the most weather resistant fabric, but it does feel like this is going to keep your stuff protected from lighter rain. And then you also have some beefy reverse coil YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, as with many modern kind of minimal EDC packs, there's no external water bottle pockets, which I was a little bit sad to see. You do have compression straps on both sides of the bag with some really robust buckles. I really like that these buckles make it very easy to take advantage of the straps and attach a variety of items, whether you're holding a tripod or a jacket. This is also going to allow you to compress the bag down when you don't use up the full volume, or even when it's really packed out. It's really nice to kind of be able to tighten everything down, prevent it from moving around, and just give the bag a little bit of a slimmer look if possible. And this is what allows it to work well as a daily bag in addition to a minimal travel bag. So you have some flexibility with how you use the volume due to the straps, which I think work really well. On the front of the bag, things are fairly simple. You have a pretty large Velcro area where you can customize the bag with a variety of pouches. There's no sort of branding prominent on the front of the bag, which is nice to see. And then you have a reinforced handle at the top, which is a little bit thin, especially with how big and heavy this bag can get. It does feel like it's gonna hold up under weight. It's not gonna tear on you or anything like that. It's just not the most comfortable to hold. It's not as robust as some of the other handles that we've seen. The last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the outside is that the bag manages to stand up pretty well on its own, especially when it's fully packed out. It has a very wide base, which makes it really stable when you place it down, and you don't feel like it's gonna topple over when you're trying to grab something from the inside. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 28 liters, which is a really versatile size in my opinion. I was able to fit all the items that I normally like to carry with me on my day-to-day with plenty of leftover capacity. And this is a bag that can tend to stick out a little bit when you take full advantage of all of the volumes in the compartment. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind. However, it wasn't so overwhelming that it would be uncomfortable to carry on to public transit, for walking around a crowded city, or for carrying on to a variety of domestic and international airlines. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a really thick, comfortable padding that's pretty broken in right out of the box, so it's not stiff. On the inside, there is no meshy material to kind of help prevent moisture from building up. The straps do, however, have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you also have a few attachment points where you can clip on accessories. You have some D-rings where you can maybe hang some sunglasses, and then you also have an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. As far as the back panel, this has also been pretty comfortable. There's a decent amount of padding that's well distributed throughout the back. This is also going to help add some protection for the items that are on the inside. And you have some slight air channels here that can provide a little bit of airflow, but in general, since there's no sort of mesh fabric here or deep air channels, there's not a ton of breathability here. It reminds me of the back panels on GoRuck bags or the older Evergoods bags. So after wearing this, even for a little bit of time with some weight on it, my back would tend to start to get sweaty pretty quickly. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout without feeling overwhelming. Starting off on the front, you have a quick access pocket that has this tall, vertically oriented zipper, which is always nice so that you can swing the bag around, grab something from this area without taking it all the way off. So it opens up very easily with these smooth zippers. You have a decent amount of space here to just hold some, taller, maybe flatter items, like a tablet, a notebook. In my case, I have my Kindle e-reader here, and then I also have a battery bank from Anchor that I'm typically grabbing a lot during the day. And one of the things that I like that Recycled Firefighter has updated over the years is that these pockets have some slip pockets on the inside now so that everything isn't sliding towards the bottom. That tends to happen with these pockets sometimes. Everything, you can throw a bunch of stuff in there, but it just kind of slides around. So it's nice to have these slip pockets to make everything a little bit easier to grab. Starting off at the top, on the first one, I just have my Apple Magic Mouse. And these slip pockets cross the front of the bag, so they have a pretty decent amount of length. And then below that, I have a lightning cable and power brick to charge my tablet and my phone. And then on the bottom, in the larger slip pocket that's provided here, I just have my Tom Bin Ghost Whale pouch. The next area we're going to be taking a look at is the laptop compartment. This is accessible via a vertically oriented zipper on the back that works really smoothly. I like how quickly you're able to access the laptop. It doesn't get caught on the strap, so the placement here is really nice. This is going to be able to hold up to a 15 or 16 inch laptop. Currently what I have here is my 13 inch MacBook Air. You can see there's some leftover space here, and there's no fleece lining or anything on the inside, but you do have a nice amount of padding on both sides of the compartment. It isn't pulled up off the bottom of the ground, so when you place your device in, it is going to make contact with the bottom of the bag, but there is some padding there, so your device should still be pretty well protected, although I wish that there had been a false bottom included in this. And so taking my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. You have a nice bright orange lining that you'll see throughout the bag as we go along. It comes up a decent amount, so it should be able to hold, a thicker laptop, or if you want to include a case with your device, it should be able to fit in there pretty comfortably, especially if you're not overly packing out the main areas of the bag. And in general, with the padding that's included here, it feels like my device is going to be pretty well protected while I'm on the go. Moving into what I would call kind of the two primary storage areas of the bag, the layout here was very interesting to me as you have two fully clamshell style compartments. This layout always feels like it's going to give you a little bit more space when you're packing. And so I was actually able to load this out as kind of an EDC bag and a minimal travel bag at the same time, which isn't always easy to do. But because each area is kind of their own independent backpack, it just gives you a ton of flexibility, which I was very, very excited about. I really loved how much space the original 24-hour backpack had just in one clamshell style compartment. So to have two of them to kind of organize and use in a variety of ways was very, very appealing to me. Also when combined with the compression straps, as you can really kind of shrink it down when you're not loading both of those out. So two sort of primary clamshell style compartments. This is pretty rare to see nowadays. And so taking a look at the first one, which I've kind of set up as my EDC area with the items that I normally have as part of my day-to-day, opens up completely. I can easily grab whatever I need to, and this works very well with my modular style of packing. So in this first compartment, I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones, I have a packable rain jacket, my Evergood Civic Access pouch, I have my DJI Mavic Mini, and then I also have my Levitate portable standing desk. There is a little slip pocket on the inside here that's going to work well as a place to store your tablet, notebook. So just a nice simple divider. It's not super padded or anything like that. You can see the bright orange lining, which gives you some good visibility. And then on the flap of this compartment, you have two mesh zippered pockets that have a pretty decent amount of space. They're pretty big. I don't always use these as much, as I like to leave the majority of the volume for the main area of the bag. I don't like things kind of pushing up against each other. So in this one here, I didn't really use it to store much beyond a few dude wipes. I might put some toiletries or smaller pouches or tech accessories in there. And then at the top, there's a smaller one, but still has a pretty decent amount of volume. This is typically what I use as sort of my quick access pocket when I'm reaching down from the top to grab the items that I use most regularly. So in this pocket, I have my sunglasses with their case. I have my Apple AirPods. I also threw in a headlamp that I've been carrying a lot more recently, and I have the Peak Design mobile tripod that I've been testing out as of late. And so those are the items that I would normally just use for my EDC, but I still have this whole other entire clamshell area that I am treating like my minimal travel setup. So these are the items that I would typically use for a longer weekend trip. And again, it's just super exciting to have that additional space without having the bag feel overwhelmingly big or like a traditional sort of 30-35 liter travel backpack. It still feels pretty compact, but in this secondary main area, I was still able to store the larger compressible packing cube that I like to use, as well as a DOP kit. And then this area also have some additional zippered compartments for, you know, extra organization and accessories. If you want to place some toiletries, some gloves, maybe you can even use these as kind of a packing cube for some underwear, socks. At the top, you have another smaller pocket. So same exact layout as the compartment that we saw on the front. And here I just have a little manicure set that I always have with me, some band-aids, ointments, and then a deck of playing cards. So it's kind of a combination of the bag setups that I use for travel and EDC that you've seen across many of my videos, but combined into one. And that's really the exciting portion for me of having both of these clamshell style layouts. And then if I just want to use it for day to day, when I arrive at my destination, I can load one of the compartments up, compress it down, and I'm good to go. So just a really versatile layout. And then you also have just a great build quality, a lot of flexibility, comfortable harness system. And if you're looking for a rugged, minimal bag that's gonna work well across a variety of situations, then this is gonna be a really great option to consider. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 24-hour Backpack Plus over the past couple of weeks. You can purchase this on the company site for about $250, so it's not a cheap bag by any means. It is very well built and it has a really interesting layout. They're also assembled in smaller batches in the USA, which leads to a little bit of a premium price, but there's also going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the GoRuck GR2, the 26 liter version in particular, which was another bag that eluded me for many years, and I was really excited when I finally had a chance to grab it, test it out. I've mentioned it in multiple videos now. And like this one, it has an excellent dual clamshell style layout, so you have a lot of flexibility with how you can organize all of your stuff. It can hold a lot of stuff at 26 liters, maybe not quite as much as this bag here. It's a little more compact, but it can really hold a lot. It has a great laptop compartment. It's a little bit more padded than the one on this bag. I also like that it's suspended. It includes a rigid frame sheet, so it just feels like you're gonna have a little bit more support overall. And you also have that tactical sort of aesthetic with the MOLLE webbing, so you're gonna have a little bit more flexibility to customize the bag with pouches or attach additional accessories. So just a really solid bag that's similar to this one, but if you want some more of that flexibility or just something that's gonna come with some extra sort of features and is gonna be in a little bit of a higher price range, then that's gonna be a good option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Evergood CPL24, which has been one of my favorite daily bags of the past couple of years. Really solidly built. They've made some recent improvements on the harness system, so it's more breathable now. And Evergood has one of the best pocketing layouts that I've used. I really love how they provide a variety of pockets, but it's not overwhelming. They all have their own independent volumes, so it's very easy to kind of take advantage of each area. Well padded and suspended laptop compartment. And it is offered in a 28 liter size as well, which is pretty close to this one here in capacity. So if you need a little bit more space, it doesn't have the dual clamshell style openings, and it doesn't, feel like it can hold quite as much as this bag here. But if you are looking for something with a more minimal vibe that's going to be great for taking into the outdoors as well as using for EDC, that's well built, then that's going to be a great option to consider. Another bag this made me think of is the Mystery Ranch 2-Day Assault Pack. The aesthetic of the bags isn't super similar, more just the versatility that they have as far as working well for EDC or minimal travel and taking into a variety of environments. The 2-day assault pack is very ruggedly built. It has one of the most comfortable harness systems that I've used. It's very adjustable. It has Mystery Ranch's tri-zip opening, so it's not clamshell style per se, but you can still easily access any area of the bag. It's got a nice organizational layout that's pretty simple overall, so you're not going to have as many pockets as you do in this bag, but the pockets that you have work well. It's got a padded and suspended laptop compartment, external water bottle pockets, which is a feature that's becoming more and more rare, and it also has Somali webbing on the front and side so that you can customize it again with carabiners, attached pouches. So, it's a little bit different aesthetically, but very well built. It's also going to be in a little bit of a lower price range. So if you're looking for something rugged, versatile, and spacious, that's going to be a great alternative to check out. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Fjallraven Raven 28, which was also recently updated. That one now has a really comfortable, breathable back panel. And that's been one of my favorite 28-liter bags of the past couple of years. It's just really versatile. The organizational layout that it has is excellent. It has a lot of different compartments for anything that you might want to carry with you. Well padded, suspended laptop compartment. It doesn't have clamshell style openings per se. It's more of a top loading bag, but it does have a couple of larger areas that give you some flexibility to kind of organize the stuff that you carry with you in the way that you want. At 28 liters, it's pretty close in capacity to this. It doesn't hold quite as much because it does have a lot of extra sort of compartments and bells and whistles. But a really good versatile size. The Raven is also offered in a 20-liter size if you're looking for a smaller bag, and I like that it has kind of a heritage and outdoorsy vibe. It's not super technical. It's not overly minimal. I think it's like a nice in between this and something like the Go Ruck. So just a really nice look, very classic, well built. And if you're looking for something with that level of versatility at a price range that's going to be lower than this, then that's going to be one of the best options to take a look at. With that being said, the Recycled Firefighter 24-hour Backpack Plus holds up really well against all those options, and although it's not always easy to get, if you're looking for something durable and versatile that's going to offer plenty of space and organization and that's going to be with you for a long time to come, then I definitely recommend you check this one out. And I'm curious to hear what you all think of the 24-hour Backpack Plus and how it compares to some of the other popular EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar bags that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you, as always, for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.